comes up, we have her evaluator, who will be coming up to introduce Jan. So, Mark, please come up and introduce yourself.
So we have the lovely Jan tonight, that gives us a speech from the Persuasive Speaking Advanced Communication Series. It's Project 5. And Jan has named her speech, Strictly Speaking of Feelings. Jan, we welcome you to the front, please.
The purpose is to inspire. So good evening, strictly speaking members. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and Mr. Toastmaster and welcome guest. I have been a member of Strictly Speaking since 2007. In fact, I've just had my 6th anniversary because I did my icebreaker speech, which Luke is going to be doing tonight, on the 28th of August 2007. And you will all have different reasons for coming to Strictly Speaking. If it's one of your first times, it'll be probably a different reason from people who've been coming for a while. And I'd like you to think about why you came in the first place and why you want to continue to come. But the vision that I have for Strictly, when I first came, I came with a different reason I expect from anybody here, and that was because my friend said I would really like to go and do public speaking. I'd like to get paid for it, but I'd like to be able to stand in front of a group of people and be able to talk without being worried, being able to inspire people and to be able to do a very good job, but I have no idea how to do it. So I had done a lot of personal development and I heard a lot of speakers talk about Toastmasters. So I thought I'd quickly Google, and I googled Yorkshire, I think, Toastmasters, because I was living in Skipton at the time, and came up with Strictly Speaking. But little did I know that at that time, in 2007, they'd only had about 3 meetings. It wasn't a proper meeting by then. There was probably even less people in here tonight. And there was a guy called Michael, who I can't remember the surname. Can you remember his name? Michael, who was a very experienced Toastmaster, and Anthony Day, who was a member with our club for a long time, and about 2 other people who'd never done anything before. And then my friend and I came along. So everybody was beginners apart from these 2 guys, and it was less organised than it is now, believe it or not. But the difference between then and now, well, it's what happened in the middle that inspired me. I want to make this club, my vision is to have this club like it was when we had to move from the other room because it was too small. We had to have a bigger room so we could fit more people in. People were booking in advance to get all on the D71. You had to book your speeches, otherwise you wouldn't have a chance to do a speech. You had to book your roles, otherwise you wouldn't be able to get onto the floor. And that's how I want to have it back again. And my mission statement for this, if I can find it, I will find it under here. There it is. I'll let you read that yourselves. But what inspires somebody to come is different for everybody. But what inspired me for the club is the fact that it's touched so many people's lives, so many individuals along the way. It's not just the amount of people that come, as David said at the beginning, it's the enthusiasm and the inspiration that it brings to so many people. And it is different for everybody. One of the most touching stories I remember was Gary. I don't know if you ever met Gary. Gary was a big guy, and I mean a big guy. Not particularly tall, but he was a big guy. And he came along because I think he was very depressed. He'd been suggested that he came by a therapist or a doctor or something because he was very introverted. He worked on computers, but he wasn't working, so he was just at home. He used to hide behind his computer. He didn't speak to anybody, didn't go out, and he'd got to a very depressed state, so he came along to Toastmasters. What must it have been like for him to come through that door on his own? That must have been a really, really big step for him. And he came, he told Phil that he wasn't going to speak, he just wanted to come and watch. And that's all he was going to do, he just wanted to be with people, to make himself be with people. And that's what he did for quite a while. He used to come along, didn't talk to many people, and he just used to sit in the audience at the back. Till one day, he signed up to do his icebreaker speech, which Luke is going to be doing tonight. And we were all in awe as he got up from the back. You see he was scared, his hands were shaking, he was sweating, and he came up to the front of the club and he told us his story about how he got to the position he was in and how he'd come to the club and how the fact that he'd come to the club and the people were so friendly and who were so lovely to him and that he enjoyed it so much that he'd managed to get up the courage to come and stand at the front of the room and give a speech. And there wasn't a dry eye in the house that night when he gave that first speech. So that's one end of the scale, and then there's the other end of the scale, people that are already established speakers or very competent speakers that want to come and hone their skills, practice in front of an audience, and just be able to get out there and have gone on to do professional speaking. There's quite a lot of people in our club that have gone on to do that. So that are a couple of the reasons that we want to be in Toastmasters. But if there's anybody out here that is my timing still okay here? We're okay. This is my mission. I'll just read it out to you again. For Strictly Speaking Harrogate to be a thriving, active, distinguished Toastmasters club with a full committee, organised, pre-planned meetings with members actively working towards their own goals and that of the club. I want us to all be active members. We want to be able to go on the D71, to go and sign up beforehand, so we all know what we're doing. We want to invite other people to the club, so that we've got lots of people here, so that we can practice in front of everybody in the room. And why are you here? Think about why you're here. Are you here to be a leader? Are you here to learn speaking? Are you here to speak? Well, I want you to do some speaking right now. I would like you all to stand up for me. So stand up, and I'm going to ask you to repeat, and not just repeat like this, repeat with gusto. David's been to do this one before. And everybody's really tall all of a sudden. I feel really small. And I want you all to repeat after me. So remember, you're here to be a leader, you're here to be a speaker. Now I am the voice. Now I am the voice. I will lead, not follow.
I will lead, not follow.
I will believe, not doubt.
I will believe, not doubt.
doubt. I will create, not destroy.
I will create, not destroy.
I am a force for good.
I'm a force for good.
I am a leader.
I'm a leader.
Defy the odds.
Defy the odds.
Set a new standard.
Set a new standard.
Step up.
Step up.
Step up.
Step up.
Step up.
Step up.
Great, thank you very much, Strictly Speaking, and let's see this Strictly Speaking club rise as a phoenix from the ashes.
I have to say, I've been coming here for 2.5 years and I've never been asked to stand on my feet and wave my fist in the air. And I'm terribly concerned now that our guests will feel that we are actually a cult.